and my snaps are put in. So when I was about halfway through putting in these snaps, I thought, well, gosh, I better be looking up the instructions. And the instructions say, actually, to leave open a section here at this end, the snap end, so that when you put your elastic casings in, you'll be able to reach up in there and thread the elastics through. I put my snaps through all 3 layers, so this is no longer open to me, but I can put my elastic in on this end and put it down through. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to serge from about here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and serge exactly where my elastics are going to be. From where my elastics are going to be. So here to here. And we're going to go all the way around this entire diaper shape from this line to that line. And then I will put the elastic casings in. We better stop about here, just so I have room to feed my elastic in and back out. Alright, let's do it. Let's move over to the serger, figure out how to get that blade off. Alright, so we're at the serger. Remind me next time I tell you that I don't know how to do something, because I should totally check to see if I can figure it out before I tell you that I don't know how to do it, because this looks very easy here to just stick a screwdriver in there. Oops. My serger is really old, by the way. Just like my other machine. Let me go get a real screwdriver. I don't think this is how you do it. Oh, look. There's a knob on the inside. And of course it's painfully difficult to turn. See, that moves the blade, but I don't think that's how it comes off. I don't want to damage my blade by turning that. I mean, obviously I'm turning it, but you know what I mean. The blade is trying to move with the there we go. I got it. Alright. That was fairly easy. Just was chicken. Gonna be a lot of trial and error getting that back on there. Alright. Set that aside. We actually can probably put it in the cutting tray, because I don't need the cutting tray because we're not cutting anything. Alright, now the light on my machine does not work. I apologize for that. It's old. So you're just gonna have to squint. Alright, it's on, I promise. This feels very squirrely and I'm afraid of messing it up, but let's get on it. Get in there on that blue line. Yeah, I knew it was on. Laugh at me all you want, but my light does actually work. I just found that out. Alright. Can we get started now? Oh, serging without a blade feels weird. I'm a little bit afraid of it.
Tight corners here. I was warned that this is difficult. I'm just going to stretch the fabric. I like to lift this foot and readjust as necessary. And I am leaving the pins in. Hope you all don't mind. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. The fabric, because I don't have a blade on, keeps getting lifted up into the machine because I keep shoving it too far in there. So be careful of that. I'm learning the hard way. You learn by watching me. Okay? Don't do that. Don't follow my mistakes. I don't even think I care if this thing looks good when it's done, as long as it holds a lot of pee and the occasional poop. Although he doesn't really poop in his sleep. There it goes again, getting jammed up in there. Can you see it? Yeah, I think you can. It's going through anyway, but still, it's... pretty cool, serging without a blade. I've never done something so interesting before. It's, you know, rough around the edges, but I think it'll still look okay. I mean, pull that out a little bit. Yeah. I'm just straightening it with my thumbnail. I think it's gonna look fine. Dang, I'm excited. I think I might have to make 2 of these. See, it got folded again. It's that arm that comes up behind it that keeps pushing the fabric in towards the... Somebody make a comment on this video and tell me how to avoid that. In the meantime, I'll try to stay away from the edge. I'll try to keep my distance there. I'm doing a bad job of keeping my distance. This is fun. Learning curve for serging without a blade. Stop getting so close, Jen.
somebody out there watching this video is going to be like, I could have warned you about that. This is serging without a blade. There it goes again. I got too close to the edge. Now I know why the blades are there. I knew why those blades were there anyway. Good news is that, well, besides the fact that I'm done sewing around this, the good news is that I will be able to straighten that up later, even if I've got to serge around it again to clean it. Should be just fine though. I don't even care. It's great. Check it out. Here, let me get this out of the way for you. Get these pins out of here. My goodness. It'll do that. And that. Dang, that's thick. Maybe I should have done 2 layers. Oh boy. Is that even going to... It looks enormous without the elastic in there. I hope with 3 layers in there that it's going to scrunch up good. We shall see. It seems very thick. I don't even know, man. If I have to cut the serging off and change it down to 2 layers, I will, but for now, let's run with it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put in elastic casings. The elastic casings are to stay to the inside of the diaper because these flaps need to come over. And that's actually going to sew down that spot right there so it'll be flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw lines so that when I get it in the machine I'll have something to line up up against. And then when I get to do the top here, I'm going to first sew down on both sides, and then I will put the elastic casing in, then I will serge all the way across here again. When I do that, I will have to hold it flat because the elastic will be in it and be hopefully trying to keep it scrunched up. I'm going to serge that again. But otherwise, it looks alright. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's going to hold lots of pee. Gonna use my favorite handy dandy straight edge, a folded piece of paper. I'm gonna make a line from the inside of the stitching to the inside of the stitching on both sides. That's where one of the lines is going to be. Or not the lines, one of the rows of stitching is going to be. Then I'm going to go in a little. Actually, it doesn't go there. It goes up here on both sides. That equal? Yeah. want to make sure that your casings are big enough for your elastic. My marker has been dying for a while now, so forgive me if it doesn't show up great on the video. It's not showing up great in person. I think I'll still understand where to sew, so it'll be good. And then on this end, we'll go all the way to about here. I don't want to get carried away or anything. There we go. So let's sew on that line. Where's my cap? So we are just making casings. We're not going to sew up the ends. So that line that I made, that is just for when I get the elastic put in. For now, we are just going to make the casing. Now normally I would sew on this second line here, but I gotta make room for this serging, so let's just stay away from that. And when I get over here, oh, you know what? I drew a line for a reason. Let's just draw. Let's just go on the line. What do you say? Wing it. You'll want to backstitch both ends. I'm going to make my stitching kind of long because this is really thick. We'll just sew on the line. I'm actually not sewing directly on the line. I want the line to be straight, and the line wasn't straight, so there you go. Backstitch at both ends. Put it back in. So now we have a tube for the elastic to go down. Let's do the other side. Yeah, let's do the other side. Oops. This is really thick stuff. Having a hard time getting the fabric in the sewing machine. Back stitch. And back stitch again. Now let's put the elastic in. I'm going to try to back you up just a little bit. Okay, hopefully that's better. So I have this opening. I've decided to put the elastic on the innermost case because obviously there's two here. So we'll put it on the one closest to the baby, closest to my toddler. Now I don't know what to do here, so I'm just gonna wing it. My rule of thumb is to stretch this all the way across and then give it some excess. Now this is some really thick material, and so I really just am afraid that the elastic isn't going to be strong enough. So let's just make it as tight as we can. If I have to pull the elastic back out later, so be it. Alright, now because I just stretched the elastic as far as it would go, I'm going to stretch this piece as far as it would go too. And then stack to the piece that I just cut on top of the piece that is uncut. So I now have two exactly the same length. I'm going to use a bodkin because it is such a long run, but you can use a safety pin just as well. So some of my other videos have safety pins. Most of my other videos have safety pins because I did a lot of newborn diapers just recently. So you'll grab a hold of your elastic with either the bodkin or the safety pin and get that cinched down like it's supposed to be, perfectly attached. And then you will stick the bodkin into the elastic casing, and you'll get that scrunched in there. So scrunch it and then pull the fabric. Scrunch it onto the bodkin and pull the fabric. You want to find the edge, find the end of your elastic each time. You don't want the elastic to go past that line that you made. So when it's sticking just to the left of that line, go ahead and sew on the line. Forward and backward, and forward and backward, just to hold it nice and tight. Okay, and then go ahead and send that elastic all the way to the other end. You want it to come all the way out. So my bodkin's clear out here and my line is about here. So grab a hold of it and stretch it as far as it will go. And if your fabric is perfectly flat, then you're good. So it's mostly flat. So let's go ahead and sew it there. Just want to get the full bounce power out of your elastic. The fullest elasticity. Alright. Now, my question is how to get my bodkin out. Stick your arm up in the fabric here. It's just so soft right now. I've washed it twice. I need to wash it a few more times. But I wanted to go ahead and get this made. Oh my goodness, that's cool. It's scrunchy now. The elastic's doing pretty well. Better than I expected. Alright, now let's get our other piece. Cinch it down onto the bodkin or safety pin so it's real nice and tight. And then stay on the same side that you were on. So I just flipped it over, so now I've got to stay in. You want to stay in that same section there, closest to the baby, toddler, whoever you're making it for. He's not a baby hasn't been a baby for a while, so. Crunch, scrunch, pull. I want to make sure I'm not going past my line. I can't feel it. This fabric is so thick, I can't even tell where the elastic is. It's right there. Let's go a little bit further. there. Forward, backward, forward, backward. That'll hold that elastic in there nice and tight. I'm left-handed, so we gotta do it like this. Push that bodkin safety pin all the way out the other end. I'm gonna send it clear up into the snap area, just so that I can get it up out of there. Oops. Got the fabric caught on my needle, almost broke it. Forward, backward, forward, backward. Get that bodkin out of there. I would be using the other end, but I did the snaps before I read the instructions. Don't make my mistake. All right. So now I have elastic in both ends. Nice, nice, nice. I'll cut the threads later. Let's put the elastic in this end. Now here, what I'm going to do is a little bit different. I'm going to sew approximately where the serging is going to be. So what is that, like 1/8 of an inch in, or a little bit more, 1/4 of an inch? So that way I can just sort of close it up. You want to make sure all layers are in there. This is going to be covered up later by serging, but I just need it to hold my elastic back for now. Back stitch. I forgot the back stitch at the other end, but I think it'll be alright. I'm actually going to do another row because I don't feel like this is far enough in. If I were to accidentally hit it with my serger, my elastic wouldn't slide very well. So sorry about the bouncing camera. I hit it with my arm. So you know what I can do? I can go ahead and serge that. As long as I leave a gap there and a gap there to get my elastic and my bodkin back out. Let me go serge this and I'll be right back. I don't really like the way it looks when you start and stop on your serging, but anyway, I had to leave a hole to put my elastic in and back out. So now I'm going to go ahead and make my elastic casing. Start at the line. And stop at the other line. Now I'm going to put the elastic in here and stitch it at either end. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here and start back up here in just a moment.